All right, let's jump right into it. I got away from the arcade controls for the vehicles because it was getting too complicated. Honestly, arcade controls are more complicated and sophisticated than just physics-based controls. The physics engine is much more complicated, but it's easier to program for than customly doing everything in an arcade style, because then you have to handle collisions and how do they collide with each other. And that's why when you go to an arcade racer, they're kind of corny in a lot of ways, and I don't want that. I want more of a simulation light, as I said before. So let's get into that. Yeah, so I enabled vehicles to be driven anywhere they're seen in any map, not just on the vehicles map. I moved that away into its own mode here, and this is what you saw last time. I added a couple things to it, but the controls are very smooth. Added some sounds. So yeah, now you see suspension, traction. So the controls are still one-to-one with steering, but you do have slip and grip. You can control it with the, you can hit your brakes. The smoke puffs I removed. I'm going to work on a little better system for that. But yeah, so it's pretty nice now. It feels a lot better. People seem to enjoy having a car that has weight to it and that can slide and smash around into things and smash into each other. And this clears up a lot of the the collision problems that it had before. Yeah, what else? Added sounds to vehicles when entering, exiting. You just heard that. Plus crashing into things if impacts are hard enough. There's 3 different impact sounds. They're corny for now. I'll fix them up later, but the system's there. Changed name for random map types to full RanGen to avoid any confusion with what it is or does. That is referring to this. Let me go back in here so I can select a map. This here. This just means that the procedurally randomly generated map system that I came up with, whatever you want to call it, what a bunch of buzzwords. It's all randomly generated, procedurally generated is, whatever. So this just says that the system I created to generate maps is in full force here and not hybrid like some of the other maps. Some of the other maps are full hybrid, but certain types of things, objects that are being spawned in. Some of them keep the layout, such as Welcome Park keeps the layout, keeps the building locations, but randomizes the buildings and the objects on the layout, trees and things and vehicles and whatever else objects you can get behind. And then like Terrarium 1, it's completely 100%, but it stays, foliage and terrain crap instead. So that's the difference. Then you got things like Junkland, where it's also fully random, but you never know what you're going to get. You never know where things are going to lay because they're being dropped, and then they stay where they lay. So hopefully that makes sense. Like here, the layout stays the same, everything's generated. Anyway, I think you get it. I also moved the Worksite up above because from now on I'm going to be using this as a sort of like a museum where you can inspect things or check out things that I'm working on that aren't quite finished. That's the portal right there. You can actually go into that and warp to the other side. So like I have miniatures of structures that I'm working on. Let me go in here and I'll just show you some things real quick.
Game on.
So I don't know. So like automatic opening doors, sliding doors to the side. All this stuff that's being worked on and I haven't implemented anywhere will go in this map Somewhere around there's a soccer field. Here's the warp. I'll warp down there. Boop. And that's where I was. You can see everything there. But anyway, where's the soccer crap? Soccer field over here. Just random stuff that, you know, that I'm working on or that I made that isn't quite finished yet for future modes, the soccer mode. You know, just this is a board that everybody messes with when they come over for game nights and adds things or whatever. You know, just random stuff. The player models, the human player models that aren't finished, well, that are finished but aren't added anywhere into the game. Will be animated later. The graffiti system. What else? Here's some of the structures that are miniaturized so that you can inspect them before I add them anywhere into any of the games. My dog is barking. So yeah, anywhere you see a vehicle now, you can jump in it and drive it. My dog's going nuts. Added ability to damage disable vehicles by shooting them. And they start smoking and they reset after 15 seconds. Let me... let's go into base camp, I guess. Game on. So... oops. Yeah. So now when you get into a vehicle, you have the choice of... So before the looking automatically looked where you were looking. It doesn't make any sense to say it like that, but so anyway, you press aim now and it will toggle being able to look around while you're driving. So you're looking to the right when you're steering right. You know, this was the default control. You go backwards and you can look while you're going. You look in the direction that you're steering basically. But if you hit toggle again, it turns it back off, and now when you steer, you're always facing forward. There is no looking into the direction that you're steering. Some people like this, some people don't. So now you have the choice. You know, like I said, you can click it then while you're driving even and start looking. Click it, boom, it snaps back. And the same thing in reverse. So I can look in the direction, or I can just toggle it back off and it stays put. All right. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense, because you can have it both ways at the click of a button. Let me go close to a player so I can show you what it's like to disable the vehicle. I hit reverse instead of brake. Is that third player over there? Yes, it is. Okay, so now you can disable vehicles. Let me go to his perspective. By causing 300 points of damage to the vehicle. And what happens is it just starts smoking, and the player inside can no longer do anything except get out and engage the fight. Or they can just stay there and not be able to move it. Oh, but after 15 seconds, you can move it again. So yeah, there's 300 damage. It stops. Can't control it. If you're moving when you disable it, you'll just kind of lose control and crash. So you can jump out, start fighting, crash, do whatever you want. So anyway, yeah, hopefully this all makes sense and makes it more enjoyable for everyone. I think that's it. See you later. Have fun. Bye.